Welcome back to the Dynasty Arsenal podcast, episode 15. I am Sammy Stacks, joined as always by my good friend and co-host Tags. And Tags, it is officially playoff time.
Let's go. It's
Let's
crunch time.
freaking go. So, it was a long journey to get here. 14 long, treacherous weeks. But we're finally here. And good luck.
How'd you do this year? What's the state of the union for Sammy Stacks Dynasty leagues?
Pretty happy. I think I got nine or 10 teams that are competing in the playoffs. I have 4 buys out of those. So feeling pretty good. A few juggernauts that I'm hoping can take down some leagues here, and some sneaky teams as well. So I'm excited. What about you?
About the same. It was pretty chalk year. Pretty much all my contender teams got into the playoffs pretty comfortably. All my rebuild teams were ass comfortably.
As they should be. That's how we like it.
And there was one team, the little team that could, that was supposed to be a rebuild team that somehow snuck into the last seed of the playoffs. And I sold pieces throughout the season because I'm like, this team does not have it. I would sell pieces, and then whatever piece I put in their place would just pop off. And I'm like, they just can't be stopped. They're young, they're spunky, they got determination, and they're hopefully gonna do some damage as the number 6 seed. But yeah, out of 17 leagues, made the playoffs, and all but 3 of them, which were the rebuild teams, and looking pretty good. Got quite a few bye weeks. Could be chilling next week.
And you know what, Tags? I bet that little team that could probably has a few players on it that we're going to talk about today. Because
they certainly do.
Because today we are doing, last week, we did the players who disappointed draft. And it was a little too negative, We finished it up.
The vibes up.
We were feeling a little down, a little sad. So this week we're doing the players who impressed us draft. And this is sort of guys who not came out of nowhere, but just guys who exceeded expectations. Because, Dynasty is all about these fluctuating values. And these are guys whose value has probably increased pretty significantly this year. It's different than a risers because we're talking about the season on a whole. But yeah, should be a good time. I'm excited.
Yeah. Do you want to dig into it?
Yeah, let's get right into it, man. So yeah, we're doing a draft style here. Tags last week had the 101, so I am going to fall on the sword and take it this week. Sorry.
Is it falling on the sword since we're having a positive spin on it?
It's okay. Well, what
this week?
It's falling on the comfortable bed.
There we go. After a long day's work.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I will start us off here, and I want to go. I don't want to just pick the best player. I want to pick the guy who impressed me the most. And I can't believe I'm starting with this guy. I'm going to go with Michael Wilson as the 101 in the players who impressed draft. Michael Wilson obviously been the talk of the town in the last month or so. But it is not just the last month where Michael Wilson has been cooking. Since Jacoby Brissett took over in week 6, Michael Wilson is averaging 16 and a half fantasy points per game. He is just on an absolutely unreal run right now. Insane. Obviously, he has 2 huge performances in there that are bringing it up quite a bit. 33.5 point bomb against the Niners in week 11 and a 37-point bomb this past week against the Rams.
And a 22-pointer.
He does have the 22-pointer against the Jags. But yeah, and in those 3 games, 18, 15, and 16 targets, right? And obviously, Marv missing a little bit has contributed to that. But I don't think Marvin Harrison doesn't have a single game in his career with 10 targets and 100 receiving yards. Or 10 receptions and 100 receiving yards, sorry. Michael Wilson has done it 3 times this season. Michael Wilson, I actually liked him like when he was coming out as a prospect. Out of Stanford, prototypical size. He had not a terrible production profile. And was he this good all along? And Kyler Murray was just holding him back?
Yeah, it's crazy what wide receivers can do when they have a quarterback that can throw him the ball.
A quarterback who can see over the offensive line.
Yeah, it's wild. You can see that the wide receiver's open. So
Kyler Murray doesn't know what number Michael Wilson wears. He has no idea.
Okay, Kyler's plan with Michael Wilson is like, you know what? He's got to be down there somewhere. Chucks it.
But what I'm interested here is, how do we value this guy going forward? Is this a blip in the pan? Because to me, over the last 5 weeks, 25 plus 15, that's 40. And then we have 47 and then 16, which is going to bring us to what, 66? I think he has 66 targets over the past 5 weeks. That is insane.
It's a lot of volume headed his way. My thoughts on him is I kind of view him. By the way, Michael Wilson, wide receiver 2 on that team that snuck into the playoffs, obviously.
Yeah, there you go.
I view him as a wide receiver 3 heading into next year that can be used as a flex in spots. It's not someone you comfortably want in your lineup, holding down a wide receiver 3 spot. But I think he's got Brissett's trust, and he's been the go-to guy in that offense. It's going to be obviously Marv being out a lot this end of the stretch. That coinciding with Michael Wilson's production is concerning. I'm having a hard time because a lot of things are happening at the same time. Like Kyler got benched, and then shortly after that, Marvin has the injury stretch with the appendicitis, and now what is it, a heel?
Yeah.
And a lot of Michael Wilson's production has coincided with all those events happening, and it's hard to pinpoint which event is the one causing his volume increase. Is it no Marvin Harrison? Is it no Kyler? Is it the combination of both? Because if it's a combination of both those things, I don't feel as good because that's a lot that needs to happen for him to have volume. So I don't know. I'm hoping he can keep it up and kind of earn his quarterback's trust so that he does have steady volume, even with Marvin Harrison Jr. back. But can this offense feed 3 receiving threats?
That will be the question, right?
Because there's McBride, Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr. One of those guys has to not work out. When have we seen an offense that can sustain a tight end 1 overall and 2 wide receiver 2s with upside, all in one offense with a guy named Jacoby Brissett throwing the ball?
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult question. And look, the weeks 11, 12, and 14, the 3 crazy games for Michael Wilson are the 3 that Marv missed. So there's a direct cause and effect there. But Marv isn't this crazy target earner, which like he hasn't really been. He hasn't been a volume machine, which is what is sort of weird to me, because even in these games without Marv, they're still getting the bar. Like Greg Dortch is still doing stuff. He's not producing for fantasy, but he's involved. So yeah, it's very strange. It'll be interesting to see what they do at quarterback. I think just the fact that Michael Wilson has flashed this now tells me enough about what he is capable of, that I think he will be relevant going forward after this season, even if, like you said, Marv is healthy and producing, and Trey McBride is obviously going to be there. So I think Michael Wilson is just on a radar that he wasn't before. And he's young. He's shown that he's talented. He's shown that he can earn targets. And going forward, that's going to matter, in my opinion, with Marv or not. I don't know exactly where I slot him among the other wide receivers. I'm actually interested to take a look at Keep Trade Cut and see what they're looking at. So they have him at wide receiver 49, right behind Romeo Doubs and DJ Moore.
Which kind of checks out for that wide receiver 3 spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's kind of the
on the
range.
fringe
I figured
now,
there's a lot of people that are kind of clumped in that whole range value of wide receivers.
Well, what about Michael Wilson or Alec Pierce?
That seems like, yeah, it's like kind of a
Michael
pick your
Wilson
flavor, I guess.
or Troy Franklin. I think that that's wide receiver 40 and 35 that I just mentioned, or 36. So he could be creeping into that low end, low end wide receiver 3 range. Which is obviously not great, but I figured he deserved some love with how many points he's freaking putting up right now.
Yeah. That's a good one because he's carried a few of my teams on this back end stretch into the playoffs when I desperately needed guys to fill in. And then you put Michael Wilson in, he scores 30 points for you.
And if Marv
You're,
misses any
pretty
more
happy.
time, in the fantasy playoffs, Michael Wilson could win leagues. We've seen.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Who's your 102?
I'm going to go with Tucker Kraft for the 102. And this guy was a monster this year. The injury really sucks because it derailed his season. But before the injury, he was averaging almost 17 points per game. He was tight end 3 overall. And we saw his value kind of creep up into the McBride and Bowers, like elite dynasty tight end range. He's still young, and it just depends on how well he bounces back from this injury, and that kind of decides his outlook for next year. My main concern with that is he's just like a tackle breaking monster. He breaks so many tackles, gets so many yards after the catch, and having a torn ACL is not great for that. So
This is true.
he's my guy that like he shot up the value charts for tight end this year. And now there's a lot of question marks with his injury, which means there could be a buying window. So I'm interested to see what your thoughts are. If he's a player you're going to be actively buying this offseason, because there are people who are going to forget about his production profile and all the volume and production he was having this whole year because of the injury that derailed it.
Tucker Kraft is a really fun ride that he's had over the course of his career, because if you recall, he was the second tight end that the Packers drafted in that draft. Luke Musgrave was supposed to be the guy.
Yep.
And I remember going into 2024, I looked at the two of them, and at the end of 2023, Musgrave got a little injured. And Kraft came in, and he was putting up some numbers, like low-end tight end 1 numbers. But then going into 2024, he has a pretty good year. He has 2 finishes at the beginning of the year as tight end 1, some good games down the stretch, and he seems to be sort of just this middling tight end. But then this year, comes in, puts up a tight end 1 performance in week 2, another one in week 8, that huge game against Pittsburgh with the 2 touchdowns. There's a few points of concern, obviously, the injury, as well as he scored a lot of touchdowns. He played just 7 full games, and then he got injured in week 9. And in those 7 full games, he had 6 touchdowns. So that's obviously not going to be sustainable. Shades of rookie Sam Laporta with all those touchdowns. That kind of worries me. I think for me personally, the double concern there with the touchdown efficiency, as well as the injury, I might be in line with the market. Where is he currently? But he's currently being valued as tight end 4, ahead of Colston Loveland. Just behind. He's the guy behind those top 3. Obviously, it's a tier break.
It's 3 Warren.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I might take Loveland over him right now. Honestly, I'm a big George Kittle guy, and I think Kittle's going to live forever. I think those guys are close. I might take Kittle over him, just because I know that production's coming. But tight end's so weird, man. It's so rare to find a guy that will consistently give you and you can't even say tight end 1 numbers, because who cares about the tight end 9?
Yeah, because 2/3 of the tight end 1s don't really matter.
Yeah,
They
it's
aren't
literally
difference makers.
your top 6 or you're a streaming option. So the question that we need to ask is Kraft going to be that perennial top 6 guy? And I don't know if I have the conviction to say that with this small of a sample size, plus the 2 concerns that I laid out there.
I think there's a factor also in his production profile because he was the Packers wide receiver one, essentially. Matthew Golden didn't take the step up they were hoping for. Dubs was there. Christian Watson was injured off and on and missed most of this year. And a lot of it was like Kraft was the first read on most of those passing plays.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting if they bring in. That team's going to be so weird this offseason. Like they need a weapon. I feel like every single offseason they put capital into drafting weapons and none of them pan out.
I mean, yeah,
except for Christian Watson, maybe now.
Yeah.
But
We might talk about him in a little bit.
we might talk about him. Spoilers. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of his production is because they don't have any other weapons that they can rely on. But he's good. He's getting
awesome.
Yards after catch. So I don't know.
He is an absolute beast in the run game. He can block his ass off. Like you said, the yards after catch, the tackle breaking, he's a monster. Like shades of like George Kittle. He reminds me a lot of George Kittle in terms of the all around tight end, right? Where he's just a beast in the run game. He's a beast in the run game. He's a beast in the blocking game. And yeah, they're investing all this capital in wide receivers, drafting one in the first round for the first time in a really long time. But in the past 4 or 5 years, Jaden Reed and Christian Watson, like you said, 2 tight ends. Like they drafted Luke Musgrave in like the second or third round. But yeah, I'd be concerned that he can be that perennial guy, right? And kind of like Sam Laporta, where even if he does end up being relied on as this team's number one target, could he have a Trey McBride season? Maybe. But it's hard to have that conviction with this small of a sample size.
I think he has the talent to be a Trey McBride.
I completely agree.
It's
100%.
It's just a matter of can he keep the volume up and can he keep the touchdowns up?
And situation is so important, right? And I don't know, Matt LaFleur is very much like weird about the wide receiver stuff, saying that, oh, we just have a bunch of ones. It's like, no, you have a bunch of threes.
Right.
Maybe
none of these guys are the ones for half of the league.
I mean, maybe Christian Watson is changing that at the end of the year here. He's obviously been really good.
Yeah, but he's one hamstring pull away from being back on the IR.
Yeah, and why did this? All he needed to do was tear his ACL to break out. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, the order of these things. But no, Tucker Kraft had a huge start of the season. Sucks that he got injured.
Hey man, you know who else tore his ACL and came back the greatest athlete to ever play football? Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
And who's to say Tucker Kraft can't be Adrian Peterson of tight ends?
Who's to say Christian Watson isn't Adrian Peterson?
For the record, I'm not saying that. Don't put that on me.
I think you guys, we should all quote tags that Christian Watson is Christian Watson and Adrian Peterson, the only 2 players who could ever be better after an ACL tear.
Yeah, and I'm going to double down on it. You know what? Tucker Kraft's going to come back next year. He's going to go RB1, not even tight end.
Oh my God.
He's coming back as a running back.
That's incredible. Did you hear? Oh, speaking of tight ends changing positions, Phillip Rivers obviously just signed with the Colts.
God.
Did you see somebody said they were like so Tyler Warren's the emergency third quarterback and that they were actually thinking like a thought process was just playing Tyler Warren as quarterback? That would be so. I would love to see that.
Wildcat for every play. Let's do it.
But he's gonna throw it. Like actually have him throwing it. Like that would be insane. Your passing attack is obviously a lot worse because you don't have Tyler Warren, but but I mean,
no, he does the play where he throws intentionally to the defender. Defender pops it up, he catches it and then runs it.
He's playing 4D chess out there.
It's the Josh Allen of last year where he had the passing touchdown and receiving touchdown all in one play.
Yeah, see, Josh Allen can score 2 touchdowns on the same play, and Jalen Hurts is the only player who can have 2 turnovers on the same play. So
yeah, they're basically the same.
For everybody
thing.
who watched Monday night, what an insane turn of events! Jalen Hurts 2 turnovers on the same play.
Wild.
The Eagles just find new ways to surprise us every week. My 103,
103.
I'm going to take James Cook. James Cook. Now, the backstory with James Cook is sort of about how coming into this season, there was a lot of talk about touchdowns because James Cook's stat line in 2023, 2 years ago, 1,100 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. In 2024, 1,000 yards, about the same, and 16 rushing touchdowns. And everybody was saying, this isn't sustainable. He cannot repeat this. And they were right. But James Cook, his snaps have increased. His volume has increased. And James Cook, with 4 games left, has already beaten his best career rushing numbers. He's at 1,300. His previous best in 17 games was 1,100. And he's only had 8 touchdowns. He is absolutely obliterating expectations that people had, thinking his touchdowns were gonna regress. And while they have regressed, he's just been an absolute baller, averaging 18 PPR points per game. He's averaging 100 rushing yards per game, 5.25 a carry. The Bills, like the Packers, just refuse to find wide receiver help, good wide receiver help. Keon Coleman's finally playing again, but that doesn't matter. And they are just relying on this run game. And James Cook is absolutely dominating. 120 total yards a game. He's the running back 6 in points per game. And just got the contract too. I mean, I love me some James Cook right now. He is really, really impressing.
He was wanting that $15 million a year. Did not get that contract. But he's kind of looking like he'd be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's when I'm watching the Bills, he's by far the best weapon they have in that offense. Besides Allen, obviously. Whenever he's touching the ball, he's gaining positive yards. He's catching out of the backfield. It's like every single big play is James Cook, and no one else matters in that offense.
You know what might be a hot take for me this offseason? Is James Cook over Jonathan Taylor.
That is certainly a hot take.
I might say that take right now. I'm saying right now, I might take James Cook over Jonathan Taylor. Would I rather have
you could get added on?
Oh my god, dude!
With James Cook to get JT.
Right now, Jonathan Taylor's the running back 3 on Keep Trade Cut. James Cook's the running back 8. They're both within the first 3 rounds of a startup. According to
JT's cooled off a lot though.
Yeah. Like he has cooled off quite a bit.
If I have JT on my team, I'm kind of nervous in the playoffs, especially now that they don't have a quarterback.
Is Jonathan Taylor now going to be like a touchdown or bust running back? Because
that's how he was last year.
Yeah,
he had a few games where he had like actually good yards per carry and was like going for 100 yards rushing, but a lot of it was. So I famously sold JT last offseason, or last year in the playoffs. Traded him for Josh Jacobs in a second, and came back to bite me because JT went for had a huge game against the Broncos.
Yeah, he went insane.
But leading up to that point, he was like 60 yards and a touchdown, or else it's going to be like 60 yards and nothing. Like he wasn't contributing a whole lot. So now that they don't have as much of a threat in the passing game to take some of that pressure off of him, I'm concerned, and I might try to be moving him in my leagues that don't have a trade deadline.
I mean, this entire offense is going to take a step back. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's Riley Leonard. It doesn't matter if it's Tyler Warren. It doesn't matter if it's Phillip Rivers.
It's crazy. You're saying, I can't believe their offense would take a step back with 44-year-old Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, and in the last 3 games, it's been, we talked about his difficult schedule down the stretch when we said, try to flip JT for CMC plus. Tags, in the 3 games since then, 8.6 points, 15.1, 11.4. It's not the JT from this entire year where he's been putting up 24 points per game. So now he's got Seattle in week 15. Oh my God. Dropping Phillip Rivers into Seattle on the road. Disgusting. I genuinely would be terrified.
They're just going to load that box up.
If I had a single Jonathan Taylor share, I'd be terrified. I would be absolutely terrified because this guy that got your team to the playoffs is not going to be the same player in them. And then he's 27. He's immediately 27.
Yep, which is the age of death typically for wide receivers, which means for running backs it's way worse.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because we talk about the 27 age value gap for wide receivers, how it just plummets. Wide receivers never gain value once they hit 27, 28. Very rarely, at least up to like, especially for like elite top end assets.
Yeah.
For running back, that's like 26.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And he's a year past that.
So this isn't a Jonathan Taylor segment, but it is a James Cook segment. And I would try to get any sort of plus I could on James Cook, moving Jonathan Taylor for him right now if your league doesn't have a trade deadline.
Cook has been good. It's like every time I look at his stat sheet after the game, it's like, well, he put up another 20 points, another 25, another 30. And he's not as touchdown dependent.
He hasn't been at all. Not at all.
No.
And so,
That's been the most surprising part of his game.
Absolutely. And the fact that they have literally nothing in the receiving game helps me have faith that even if they add a first-round wide receiver, that he'll be fine. Because they're going to keep trying to run the ball, and maybe like Elijah Moore, Khalil Shakir, and Keon Coleman, those targets will turn into one good player. And James Cook will be absolutely fine.
Yeah. Love it.
104. Hit me.
104, I'm taking Matt Stafford, the baller. He's currently QB2 overall.
Wow.
Which is what we've talked about is insane for a pocket passing quarterback.
Is that Mahomes dropping out?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Mahomes dropped down to QB3. Drake May's QB4.
Yeah, 6.3
so
points will do that. Yeah.
Yep. So he's averaging 26.1 points as a QB2 overall. This guy going into the season, you probably could have bought him for an early second.
It's that, yeah. Like maybe less.
Yeah, maybe less.
Especially when the injury stuff was happening. Yes. And he was in that like incubator or whatever.
And the last two seasons, he's averaged as like a mid QB2. Mm-hmm. So to take this huge step up to go up to QB2 overall is a huge jump up in value.
Yeah.
And it's also a weird one because there's a few teams where I have Matthew Stafford and I'm trying to move him. And it's like he's putting up QB2 production, but no one's buying him for what he should be valued at. And then people who have Matthew Stafford know how amazing he's been, so they don't want to sell him for cheap. So we're at a weird impasse where it's a movable object against a unstoppable force kind of thing in this bidding war for Stafford if you're trying to sell him.
Well, it's everybody takes a different angle in their argument, right? Where the person who has Matthew Stafford says he's the quarterback too, I need X. And then the person who's buying Matthew Stafford says he might only have 1 year left, I won't pay X. So, yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, just ride it out, honestly. If you're a contender, I'm just riding this into the dust. I think that I am leaning more now towards he's going to keep playing.
Same here.
The Rams have a prime opportunity this offseason to just reload and go all in. They're going to have a top 10 pick.
They currently have the number 8 pick.
They're going to have a top
Falcons.
10 pick because of the Falcons. And they're going to have their own first rounder later.
They already have such a good team that's also has a lot of youth on it. That's really, they've crushed the last few draft
Their
classes.
defense is incredibly young.
Yes.
And really talented.
So it's like, why wouldn't you come back? Because he's had probably his healthiest season in a long time as well. So it's like, why wouldn't you come back when they're adding 2 first-round picks, one of those being a top 10 pick, and they're a great team. You've got McVay there. Even if they win the Super Bowl, like, yeah, it's very it's very cinematic.
Yeah.
To say, win the Super Bowl, win MVP, and walk off. Mm-hmm. But like, why would you just stop there? Like,
if he's still having
your
fun,
healthiest, if he's still having fun, which it seems like he is, he's got Davante Adams and Puka there. Davante looks great. Davante hasn't shown a whole lot of slowing down. Get Davante there for another year. Load up in the draft. Get some more talent coming in. Even if you win the Super Bowl, run it back. You know what's even more cinematic than winning the Super Bowl and walking off is winning 2 Super Bowls and walking off.
Yeah, I was literally going to say the exact same thing. Like, I completely get the go out on top narrative. It makes complete sense. And I would understand if he did it, but I'm becoming less and less. My opinion is swaying.
Same here.
A month and a half ago, I thought that if he wins the Super Bowl and the MVP, or if he has a good year, he's done. I just think, why not just do it again? If he was able to get healthy, it doesn't seem like the back thing is really bothering him anymore.
Yeah.
You got the team in place to. Matthew Stafford has not done enough in his career for me to be like, another Super Bowl and he's out. You know?
Yeah. It's funny because in my experience for with trading for Stafford this year, even just in the recent like last few weeks, it's been so much easier to get him added on as like, oh, it's just Stafford, I'll toss him in.
Yeah.
Rather than sending draft picks for him. Because it was going to cost me a late first at least to buy Stafford with picks. But then I made a deal putting together a package for Puka. And I was like, hey, can I just get Stafford tossed in as like a little sprinkle? And he was like, yeah, sure, why not?
You're not going to let him. It's one of those things where you're not going to let.
He's only going to be useful for a few weeks. And I'm like, you're right.
You're not going to let Stafford be the thing that stops a bigger deal from going through, because it's just Matthew Stafford. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
And most of the teams don't want Stafford's points on because they're fighting for the max PF.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in their way, which is smart, you could think of, oh, the added value is that I'm going to move my 104 pick to the 103 or the 102 once I get his points off my team. Mm-hmm. So he's a guy that I've acquired super cheap in trades by trading for a bigger asset than him and getting him thrown in as a toss-in just to get the deal done.
And I think a lot of people may have got him very cheaply. And if he gives you another year, and I wouldn't project
a win.
I wouldn't project quarterback 2 numbers next year, 2 overall, I mean. But, he'll be a useful piece.
QB 10, QB 11.
You'll take that.
That's wonderful.
You'll take it. Absolutely.
I would love that production.
He's going to be the perfect quarterback 3 to acquire on contenders this coming offseason. Like to have as your rotational guy with a Jordan Love or a Jared Goff or something like that.
Because right now, if you're buying not Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, you're kind of, or if you're trying to sell Matthew Stafford, you're selling him at prices where people are like, he's only going to be a 3-week rental for the playoffs.
Especially now that we're in the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, as soon as that contract extension notification comes in, his value is going to skyrocket. So at this point, if you didn't sell him earlier in the season, you just got to hold him. Maybe you hold a bag and he retires, but I don't know. I think he's coming back next year, and there's a ton of quarterback needy teams. That's like the best situation possible for a quarterback to go into. And so why wouldn't he just run it back for another year?
Yeah.
So if you're holding him and you're trying to sell him, if you can get a late first, cool. If not, just hold him, because once that contract extension comes in, you're going to get the value of being able to say, oh, you have another 17 games you can use him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's your 105?
105. I will stay at the quarterback position. And I'm going to take Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, obviously a disappointing rookie season. And then all the hype this offseason with Ben Johnson coming in. And this offense supposed to be improving greatly. And it really has. The Bears are obviously 9-4. They lose to the Packers this weekend, but they're 9-4. The run game, the Ben Johnson run game, man. Oh my gosh. It's just it is beautiful to watch. I've seen some of these breakdowns of the scheme, and he is just an absolute genius. He's getting my guy, Kyle Monunga, involved. Obviously my favorite player, 101 in Dynasty startups. And Caleb has been really, really good. He's the quarterback 7 in points per game, averaging 18.5 points per game. The issue is his completion percentage. That is the issue that everybody has with Caleb right now, is the completion percentage. And sure, it's a little concerning. It's at 58%. right now. You want to get that up, but a lot of this is him not taking sacks, and instead he's scrambling and throwing it away. So you would like the receivers to be getting open a little more. I think Rome Odunze's like uncatchable target rate is pretty high. So you want Caleb to hone in more on the accuracy. But even through all of this, 223 passing yards per game, he's throwing a passing touchdown and a half, 25 rushing yards per game, which is the same as Drake Maye, by the way, who everybody is really excited about the rushing floor. They're averaging the exact same rushing yards per game. So this rushing yard floor, he's an athlete. I think also the Ben Johnson offense is not done solidifying in Chicago. I think it's only going to get better. And year 2 of this offense, where we've heard a lot of stuff about how it takes a little while for players to learn this fully. They have all of the young weapons in the world. Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, and Colston Loveland. I mean, the talent in that receiving room is absolutely
the
unreal.
DJ Moore disrespect right now.
Well, I doubt he's a Chicago. I doubt he's a Chicago Bear in 2026.
Yeah,
but Caleb, I'm really really excited about Caleb. He is. I redid my Dynasty rankings. This past week I had some time before the weekend, and I have Caleb as my quarterback 9. I'm really excited about him going forward. He's obviously super young. And this Bears offense, I think, could be a staple of fantasy football for the next 10 years.
Yeah, there's so many there's so many highly drafted offensive pieces there that everyone's just I'm rooting for. I'm not even a Bears fan. I'm rooting for them to get that offense together and get it humming. And he's looked pretty good. The offensive line is insanely good. Which helps a lot with that run game.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I need to see Odunze be a wide receiver 1. Like, be the guy they drafted you to be. Because he's had games where he just disappears. And I don't understand how that can happen on that offense. Like, yeah, there's a lot of mouths to feed, but you need to be the biggest mouth there. And I once Odunze can take that step up and be that guy where, okay, he's getting production, he's gonna get fed every single game, I think that's when they take that next step up. So that's the biggest piece I'm looking to, I guess, see improve by next year. And another year in that system, hopefully they can figure out how best to use Odunze, because he's had great games this year. And then he's had games where he completely vanishes. So, but everything's good for Caleb because Loveland is there. Loveland also has a lot of room to get better next year. Burden has a lot of room to get better next year. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of players with a lot of room to get better next year. So it could get a lot better next year.
You're laying it all out. Exactly.
I'm laying it all out. So yeah, I like it. It's a fun one. And he's also pretty young, which we love in Dynasty.
All right. Swiftly moving on to your 106.
See what you did there.
Swiftly.
My 106 is Christian McCaffrey, the RB1 overall, 25.3 points per game. He's going. I got drilled for a trade in one of my leagues, the IDL league. Shout out to the IDL league mates that are listening to the podcast. Last year, when CMC was coming back from the injury, I was a contending team. I traded 2 late firsts and Bucky Irving for Christian McCaffrey. And he came back for like a game and a half and then just vanished. And I'm like, well, I'm going to put that in my L column for trades.
That was right before the Bucky breakout.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was kind of during. It was like first few big good games he had, but
you know what?
Yeah, it wasn't solidified that he was going to be their future. I was a notorious Bucky hater.
Yeah, exactly.
And
maybe this trade specifically fueled that into the offseason.
It certainly didn't help. Now I'm actively rooting for Bucky's downfall just so I can validate that trade.
Oh God.
But you know what? A year later, the trade has been validated because I'm feeling good about that trade now. Like,
Well,
sure, Bucky is pretty good, but he's been injured all year.
yeah. You're happy to have
And
CMC, basically.
I am very happy to have CMC. Maybe not for the price I paid, but when you're a contending team, sometimes you have to pay a premium for elite pieces. And he's going to be, the biggest thing with him is with this season, what to do with them. Because is this a Barkley last year where we should have sold him at his peak? Because he's turning 30 next season.
The thing is,
I don't know what to do with him. I'm guessing I'm gonna ride. I'm just gonna hold him until the wheels completely fall off.
here's the difference that I see. Saquon Barkley was like a late 3rd round startup pick last offseason. Jonathan Taylor will probably be around there, unless like if the wheels completely fall off, as I think that they might with Phillip Rivers or whatever else happens there. Jonathan Taylor's on track to be that too. Christian McCaffrey isn't that. Christian McCaffrey will be a 5th, 6th round pick that maybe a little bit higher than that. I could be wrong, but
RB1 overall, I'm guessing he's like a mid to late 4th in startups.
Yeah.
Like if it's hitting the 4th turn and it's in the early 4th, that's where I'm probably being like, all right, is this going to be my win now build or do I punt on him?
Yeah, I mean,
but I feel like that has to be the range where I start thinking about, do I take Christian McCaffrey here?
I like looking at, in the offseason, I like looking at ages as how old will they be when next season starts, right? Because it's not important how old they are in January. Christian McCaffrey will turn 30 before the 2026 season starts. There are very few running backs who we've seen be good at that age. He is obviously a historical outlier in every sense of the term. But the age plus the injury history, like, has he had 2 healthy seasons in a row ever?
Like, pretty good question.
I don't know. I'm looking right now. He has. So 2022 and 2023, back to back, he was healthy. That was the year he got traded, and then the year after. But man, oh God, like that's terrifying. That's terrifying. I would probably just ride it. I don't know if you're going to be able to get enough. I think the only scenario where I'm trading him is if it's on a contender that I think is on the downward trend. And I'm like, I need to get younger, you know?
I'm obviously not trading him in the playoffs.
Of course not. No, I mean in the offseason.
And his value is going to drop so much in the offseason, I would imagine.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, probably. Like right now,
I guess
but nobody's trading him right now.
I guess you can sell people on the fact that his production this year was insane. Like,
yeah.
Okay. So he's not, actually, he basically is on pace to do what he did 2 years ago.
Yeah,
he's having the exact same year essentially as his first and second year in San Francisco.
He's been utterly ridiculous.
God, those numbers are nuts. Although 2019 with the Panthers, holy crap,
dude! Yeah, that's insane.
480 points.
Yeah, ridiculous.
That's like QB1. That's like QB1, but as
easily.
a running back.
Well, look, and I think I'm sort of worried about how much of this, like his rushing efficiency has gone down a lot. Right, he's at 3.6 yards per attempt. He's only averaging 65 yards a game. It's so much receiving work. Like he's averaging 6 catches a game, 62 receiving yards. Like he's putting up wide receiver 2 numbers plus his rushing stuff. Like the offense needs to flow through him. And
where's the downside here? I'm waiting.
No,
for the
okay, here I'll give it to you. The offense.
Where are you leading with this?
The offense needs to flow through Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
For it to work right now. I don't know if the Niners are going to see that as incredibly sustainable. And I think they're going to try to find ways to not have to throw him the ball 8 times. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but they need wide receiver help. Ricky Pearsall's been hurt. I don't know.
I think even with other weapons, he's still going to demand the passing volume because he's so good.
And maybe I just
my counterpoint, my counterpoint is that if I have a 30-year-old running back, I want him to get the volume in the passing game.
More than running
less,
it.
yeah,
But they
less wear and tear going in between the tackles. If you can get 6 to 10 receptions a game, that's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it ages pretty well.
What about
keep his wear and tear down, which is why I feel like they got Brian Robinson. Is because they want to eventually pivot to having CMC less on the field in between the tackles and more have him as a receiving weapon.
Well, you know what's funny?
When you're a receiver that's as good as he is, I don't think that you just take that away. I don't think you take that weapon away from your offense.
No, and I don't think you should. The funniest thing that I've seen here is that this year is his highest carry percentage of his career in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Which is just insane because it's his least efficient year, and they brought in Brian Robinson, you would think, to try and spell him a little bit. But he has the highest percentage of the carries as he's had since he's been in San Francisco. So I think my point is that you probably just ride it, because I don't think that I don't know. I don't think it gets much worse next season, but it's so incredibly risky.
And as we've said, like, we had this talk about Barkley and what to do with him this season compared to last season. And the wear and tear is concerning, is what we've kind of decided on. Whenever they're taking 350, 400 touches a year, it usually doesn't mean good things for the season next. So
exactly.
I don't know. I'll be very curious to like shop around and see how much people are selling him for. Because I have a lot of contender teams that could use that production. And if he does get a discount this season, I might be trying to buy him and then just hold the bag. But it's a nice bag to hold for a while.
Yeah, especially if he has another 2 years of RB1 production, which I could easily see happening, like without a doubt.
Yeah. What are we up to? 106?
That was the 6th pick, I believe. Yeah. So I'm going to flip a guy that we spoiled a little bit already. I'm going to talk about Christian Watson. Maybe him and Michael Wilson both came out of absolute nowhere. Michael Wilson more so just because he was never really talked about before and the performances have been insane. But Christian Watson, since he came back, he's the wide receiver 12, averaging 14.5 PPR points per game, 65 receiving yards. He's scoring a bunch of touchdowns. The touchdowns, maybe you're worried about regression, but this is the weirdest thing. Like, why did it take an ACL tear for him to fully break out like this? You know, it's so strange to me that like he was good in flashes. Obviously, his rookie year, he had a lot of buzz in the 2023 offseason, right? Because the end of his rookie season was really big. But since then, he's been very disappointing. And now I didn't realize how old this guy was. But going into next year, he is going to be, let me find it here, 27.
26, right?
27.
27.
Yeah. He's hit the age.
Oof.
So Christian Watson has impressed greatly. He's had games of just over the last 4 weeks, 20.6 points, 18.3, 24.9. He's always a threat for the big play. The reception volume is never going to be there with Christian Watson.
If you look at his game logs, it's wild.
Yeah, it's funny. His season high is
2
5
receptions, 3, 4, 3, 4. And that's like not even just this year. It's like every single year.
Yeah.
He almost always gets 8 targets for 4 catches, and it'll be like 85 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm going to be selling the hype this offseason just because, I don't know. Is there a better quarterback to have if you're this type of player? I don't know that there is. I think Jordan Love might be he's probably a top 3 deep ball throw in the NFL.
Yeah.
The way that he does it off the back foot, but Christian Watson, 10 targets against Detroit on Thanksgiving is encouraging, but he only catches 4 of them. And one of them is a bomb touchdown. And against Chicago, he has 2 touchdowns. And I think people might get back in on the hype, and I might be selling this as a bit of a flash in the pan.
The problem also is that so much of his production is touchdown dependent. Even his rookie year, when he had that insane stretch where he was just blowing up with Aaron Rodgers, he had the 3 touchdown game, a 2 touchdown game, 1 touchdown game. And then he became almost too volatile to start him in normal leagues. And best ball, I freaking love this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's such a baller.
It's the Jameson Williams, right? Where he's probably more valuable for an NFL offense than he is as a fantasy asset. Just because of the speed and the way that he takes the top off the defense and all of that kind of scheme stuff. But yeah, it's a small sample size. I think he's going to be a sell. I don't even know where is
Here's what his value
sitting?
is.
Yeah, let's find out here. Christian Watson.
I have him in quite a few leagues. I was pretty big on him coming out of that draft just because I thought he was the most explosive weapon, and he was the only weapon the Packers had, really.
He's wide receiver 35 on Keep Trade Cut. So
what are some of the names around him?
Here, yeah, I'll give them to you. Xavier Worthy.
Probably take Worthy just because offense.
Ricky Pearsall. I don't know.
Probably Pearsall because first round draft capital, but he's been non-existent.
Well, I don't know. Ricky Pearsall is so confusing to me because the beginning of the year, he's incredible. He has 2 games over 100 yards. He was leading the NFL in receiving yards through 3 weeks. This PCL injury has nerfed him completely. I'm interested to see what he does in the playoffs, but yeah, very, very weird there. Jaden Higgins.
Little minor sidetrack. What's up with Ayuk? Is that dude coming back to play football at some point? Or like, what's the deal here?
I have no idea what happened there because there was a report that came out that said he wasn't attending meetings, but then Kyle Shanahan was like, no, he doesn't have to attend those meetings, and they just voided all the guarantees in his contract in like August.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's back in the 49ers.
Next, we're going to do a draft of like the most chaotic, confusing players this year, and it's going to be 101 needs to be him or Joe Mixon because like what the heck is happening in both of those players?
Yeah, that's a huge mystery. Jaden Higgins or Christian Watson.
I think I made a comment last week. I thought Jaden Higgins was way overvalued for what he's done this year so far.
Yeah. And then below him, those are the guys immediately ahead of him. Below him, Troy Franklin.
Yeah.
Who, for a guy...
He's been good, but has tapered off a little bit.
Yeah, Wandale. I'd take Wandale.
Wait, Wandale's like... he's a wide receiver 1 overall. Like, he's a wide receiver 1 this year. How is he down there at, like, wide receiver 35? What the
37 heck? Wandale is on Keep Trade Cut.
Oh, we're about to throw hands with Keep Trade Cut right now.
This is a fun one.
Give me smashing Wandale.
Christian Watson or Huge.
Anyways, with the 107.
What happened to your poor Quentin Johnston?
Bruh, it started off so good.
One of our
catch again.
Look, we're going to do, Tags and I have decided that after the season ends, we're going to do a 2025 learnings episode where we sort of talk about what over the season has maybe changed our perspective on things specific to Dynasty strategy. And one of the things I'm going to talk about is how we need to talk about sample sizes and how long do we need to see something before believing it. Because Quentin Johnston, man, dude was flying up charts, flying up the rankings, and he has just been an absolute ghost since week 4. And it's sad to see.
Yeah. Some hesitation on players that don't have the production history we're looking for. In which case, this means Christian Watson is obviously a sell for you.
Well, it depends on where he goes to in value.
I thought you were about to say it depends on if I actually learned that or not.
I might. Yeah. See, no, these are things that I should. These are things that I'm going to tell you guys to learn. I might not listen to them though.
As someone who has held pits for like 4 years now, because you know what, this is the year.
One thing that is interesting about Christian Watson is he did sign an extension while he was hurt.
That was so weird, right?
So he has another year with the Packers.
That was such a strange, like, bizarre contract extension to get. It's like, what is like I guess like the physical therapy staff freaking loves this guy and was telling the Packers, you need to keep him.
This guy is a
therapy
jokester.
Sessions, yeah.
This guy's an absolute jokester in the doctor's office.
To the PT office.
Yeah, that's awesome. Didn't somebody else who's hurt just got an extension?
Mark Andrews one was a little weird.
That was I don't understand what the hell. Isaiah Likely is going to be a free agent, right?
Seems like it. I can't imagine they put that much money into 2 tight ends.
And somebody's got to pay Isaiah Likely. I think the league really covets his skill set.
Kelsey retires, Likely goes to the Chiefs.
God, imagine. You know what I heard? I heard Likely to the Patriots, and I was like, ooh.
I dig it.
That is fire. Give Drake Maye a little weapon.
I'm hoping Pitts goes to the Chiefs or the Patriots.
Of course you want Pitts on the Patriots. You,
as I said, I've held him for
sadistic
4
little
years.
You tags. You love the pain. You can't get it, dude. You got to just let him go. Just let him go.
I can't. Any season now, he's gonna be the generational tight end talent that I expected.
He had 1,000 yards as a rookie. They drafted him ahead of Jamar Chase. He has to come good for me. You know what? He does owe you. I will say, being owed is underrated.
Too much. Yeah, I have way too much sunk cost fallacy at this point.
Boy, do I know.
I'm just going down with the ship. It's gonna be Pitts is gonna be 35, finally retiring. I'd be like, I held him for 16 years, and I'm still gonna hold him when he's retired. Because I'm like, he could unretire at any moment. So,
and he had 1,000 yards as a rookie. and tags. Have you seen how young he is?
Dude, I'm gonna be in like the nursing home, and they're gonna be like, "Sure thing, Grandpa."
Dude, your
Pitts is really great.
Your grandkids are gonna think that Kyle Pitts was Tony Hernandez.
I mean, I'm gonna be passing down my dynasty leagues.
Tony Gonzalez. What am I talking about? Tony Hernandez.
To these theoretical kids, and they're just gonna be like, "Why are all these teams have Pitts on them? What the heck?"
Wasn't this guy bad? No, he was. I swear, he was really good.
He was a generational talent.
He had 1,000 yards as a rookie.
He was drafted 8 overall as a tight end.
4 overall.
4 overall. That's right.
He's number 8.
Ugh. Anyways, that was.
It was so long ago, you're forgetting your facts. Was that was the Christian Watson one, right? Yeah, go. You go with 108.
I'm just gonna take him. I'm taking Drake Maye.
Love it.
QB4 overall, and most of the startups this past offseason. I think I joined 3 startup leagues this offseason. And he went for an late second to early third in the startup, pretty much every single startup. And now is he the 101? I feel like he's at least like the 102, 103 range. He's at least top 3.
He's a top 4 pick probably.
With Lamar being in there?
Well, I don't know.
2025
learnings might have changed my stance on some things. We'll see.
I was gonna say, we about to go into another deep lesson.
No.
We're about to pivot podcast, and we're just gonna go into all of our lessons now.
We'll talk about that in a few weeks. But no, he's a top half of the first round of startups easily.
Yeah, and to go from an early 3rd round pick all the way up to a top 3 pick in startup is huge. That's an insurmountable value gap. And he's justified it. He's looked really great. I think he has so much range to get better because if you look at their offensive personnel, they don't have a whole lot for him.
I would argue they have like a bottom 5 receiving core in the league.
I'll say, who has a worse offensive personnel surrounding them? Is it Josh Allen or Drake Maye?
Oh my God. Okay, let's do this for a second. Are we including running backs?
We'll include running backs, yeah.
And okay, so entire offensive environment, basically.
Yeah.
I might, oh my God, but the fact that it's so close says a lot.
It's bad because they're both terrible.
Oh, it's really bad. Like, it's literally just, would I rather have James Cook or like Trayvon Henderson?
Hendo, and like, would you rather have Shakir or Diggs?
Oh my God. I think I might take the Patriots just because like Kayshon Boutte has some, but the Bills can draft a Kayshon Boutte this year, so I don't know. Yeah. It's close enough, and they both suck. We'll put it at that.
But Yeah, that's gonna get better this offseason. It has to. Like, they know Drake May's the guy, and he needs an actual alpha that he can depend on. Rather than just having to kind of spread the ball around to find whoever happens to be winning at the time. Because I love Booty. Clip it. I love Booty. He's not an alpha wide receiver. I love Diggs. He vanishes so often.
Well, and he's so old.
Yeah. I mean, he is about to go for 200 yards and like 3 touchdowns in the Bills revenge game part 2.
I can't wait.
But other than that, like, he's not the legit alpha that you need. They have Hunter Henry at tight end. There's a huge improvement that can be made there. Henderson hasn't, he's been involved, but not to the extent that we would have hoped with the draft capital. So I think there's so many, honestly, it's really comparable to the Bears comment we made, where so many of these skill positions have a ceiling that they still are able to reach. There's so much more progression they can make. There's so much better that they can play. And all around as a whole, that means Drake Maye has so much more improvement that he can still go. But he's already a top 3 quarterback.
Yeah.
So I think he's got the QB1 overall talent that we're looking for. And if they can bring in some legit weapons, get AJ Brown out of the Eagles. Bring him back to Vrabel. Let's get AJ Brown on the outside. Let's bring in a good receiving tight end, Pitts.
Tags
a Patriots.
No. Tags.
Patriots.
You said
Patriots
a
Pitts
good
jersey.
You said a good receiving tight end.
Hey man, I'm about to add impressive players. Pitts. I'm about to add it to our list if we keep talking this way. Have you not been okay? Legitimate question. Have you not been impressed with Pitt's improvement this year? He's looked so much better.
He was
balling out this last game.
I have not been impressed with Pitt's improvement this year.
That's wild. Compared to the year before,
it's all bad. It's not like he's been good. He's been better, but better than how bad he was before.
I need to look at
it. We're not being serious. He's averaging 10 points per game. We're not being serious.
You're not valuing the tight end 10 overall.
He's 15 in points per game.
Okay, but last 2 weeks, 6 receptions for 90 yards, 7 receptions for 82.
Yeah, it's fine. No Drake London.
We got a nice, who needs him? We got a wide receiver.
We got Kyle Pitts. Who needs Drake London?
They're gonna miss him when he's gone and he's at the Patriots balling out.
I hope it happens Henderson, for you. I really do.
I'm gonna be wearing my Pitts Patriots jersey every single day.
Guys, he's not. He will buy that the minute Pitts signs. I hope you know. He's not kidding.
The second he does, I'm 100% buying a jersey.
You would trade your Travion jersey for a Pitts Patriots jersey.
Okay, let's not get too crazy.
Okay,
but the point we're making is that I think
Drake May's awesome.
All the skill positions surrounding him have so much room for improvement still, where we haven't even seen Drake May's ceiling yet, and he's a QB4. So that's a fun thing to think about if they can get into the offseason, get some legit weapons around him, and build or keep another offseason building around him. I think he can just get even better by next year.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. And like you said with the Bears, Caleb should be able to elevate because of all the pieces that are in place. Maye is already doing what he's doing without the pieces in place. And there's
like a theoretical with like Caleb Williams where it's like he could be a top 6 quarterback.
Maye is.
If his pieces get better. Maye is a top 4 quarterback, and his pieces are ass right now.
And look, I think that, I do genuinely think that Maye could vault himself into the Josh Allen caliber of rushing threat. He's not there yet.
He has that talent,
but he's so young. Josh Allen is a grizzled man now, Drake Maye is still a little boy. He's still just he's just a young guy. He's still got to fill out a little bit.
You want to play ball?
I'm young, so I can talk like this.
I've seen more football than you could even imagine, Maye.
But Josh Allen is like 6'4", 250, right? Drake Maye, if he puts a little more size on, like if he adds, he's already rushing for
build.
He's already rushing for 25 yards a game. That could just, and if that increases to 35, 40, right?
50, 80.
I could see it happening.
How far does it go?
Is he the RB1 next year? Well, we have yet.
No, that's Tucker Kraft. We already established that.
Sorry, RB2.
He could be RB2, I guess.
Kyle Monungai, RB3. And
hell yeah, let's do it.
And
bold takes episode.
And like they have to find him a solidified number one weapon. Like you said, it could be AJ Brown in a trade. It could be the end of the first round, their pick. Little plug next week. We're going to do a little intro to the 2026 rookie class, talking about players that are going to be in the college football playoff. So we might talk about Drake Maye's future wide receiver 1 in that podcast. So yeah, Drake Maye impressed incredibly. And yeah, he's going to be a staple of Dynasty startups for the next very long time.
What pick are we at?
I think we got one left each. 109, 110. We're going to 10 like we did last week.
I think I somehow leapfrogged you. Did I do 2 back to back?
No, you just did the 108.
Okay.
And I have the 109 and then you have the 110. Ooh, this is tough. I am going to take... I'll make it easy. I'm going to take Trey McBride. Obviously, the tight end 1. My main thing of how he impressed me is just how insanely dominant he has been. Last year was kind of his big breakout, right? And on the season in 2024, he averaged 15.5 points per game, 9 targets. This is actually insane. I'm looking at his stats side by side. The literal only difference is the touchdowns. Trey McBride last season, 9 targets. He had a 28% target share, 72 receiving yards, and he averaged 0.07 touchdowns per game, which is, he didn't have any touchdowns. Kyler did not throw him the ball in the red zone. This year, 18 PPR points per game, 9 targets again, 27% target share, 72 receiving yards again, but 0.6 touchdowns per game. So, and this is which one of these things is the norm? It's not like he has this crazy touchdown efficiency. He's not scoring a touchdown every single game, but he's scoring some touchdowns now. And Tags, honestly, I think a conversation needs to be had about the tight end 1 in Dynasty.
And I think there's a argument to be made that McBride could leap Bowers for that.
I think it's McBride. I genuinely do.
I still can't get there. I think
they're in the same tier. I think they're in the same
production wise. I feel like it's a Bowers 1A, McBride 1B.
And I think that, and I just think that's flipped.
If someone takes McBride over Bowers in a startup, I'm like, that's interesting. Anyways, not really like it doesn't really bother me that much because I understand. I think the age difference with McBride being older, Bowers is still, he's gonna be 22.
He will be
22.
He's 23. He's going to be 23.7 when next season starts.
Okay.
McBride's going to be 26.8.
Yeah. So 3-year difference.
Yeah, but
I still trust Bowers. He's just been so dominant for so long, since going all the way back to his freshman year of college, just making all of Georgia's defensive staff looking silly as a freshman.
Yeah.
So I still trust in Bowers, and hopefully they get their quarterback situation and offensive situation figured out next year.
Yeah,
but there's no guarantee the Cardinals do either. Brissett's not their guy for the future.
Yeah, you don't think so.
So what are they doing?
Yeah, so I guess I have maybe I'm being reactionary to one season. Obviously, if you saw Trey McBride go off the board first in a startup, you would say that you would have taken Pitts. But with McBride,
Yeah, running back 2 overall next year.
The 3 year gap there, I just don't really care about that very much in a dynasty league where I'm trying to play in 3 year windows. And I don't know, man. The Raiders just scare me long term. Either way, it's the same tier. This doesn't need to be the debate. Trey McBride has shown us that he's the one there. It's not Marvin Harrison, and it's not going to be Marvin Harrison. And yeah, he impressed me a ton with being able to get into the end zone. I genuinely did not think that Kyler was this much of a problem. It's actually insane how this has unfolded. The fact that he needed Jacoby Brissett to free him. But Trey McBride has been absolutely incredible. And yeah, I think he's the tight end one in Dynasty.
And points per game is pretty wild how it literally is just Trey McBride and Brock Bowers, and then like just massive chasm of a gap between them. And even in this year, it's Bowers and nobody. Like Bowers is 21.6 points per game and half-point PPR bonus for tight ends. And Bowers is 18. So that's 3.6 point difference per game. And that's a hefty difference.
Yeah.
So that's why I can see, like, if someone takes McBride over Bowers in a startup, it's not what I would have done, but I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just taking a shot on a different guy. I just kind of like Bowers' production profile so much, combined with his youth. There's no one in Oakland to take that volume away from him. They just need to figure out a quarterback and new offensive system, which is a lot to figure out, but the Cardinals are kind of in the same boat too. So I guess my concern is that another quarterback comes in for the Cardinals and they actually lean on the wide receivers more rather than relying on the tight end as much.
I mean, and look, Jacoby Brissett has come in and he's been great for fantasy, but it's not like they're winning games.
Yeah. He's not the guy.
No, not long term.
He's been great for the fill-in. That offense has looked so much better. But I think if anything, that just means that like they see like, yeah, we need to get one of these guys in to get our offense to that next step. So,
and it's probably gonna be a new coaching staff. Like I would be shocked if Gannon is there in 2026. I think they probably move on.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. It's been bad ever since. Like he hasn't had a good.
I think coaching staff stays. I think it's on Kyler, and I think that's how they're. I mean, they haven't been that bad once they made the switch off of Kyler.
I mean, okay, 2023 they were 4-13. 2024 8-9. 2025 they're 3-10. So he's 15-31. Does anybody survive
with Kyler as quarterback? Wait, did he didn't draft Kyler, did he?
No. But does any coach survive 2 4-win seasons in 3 years regardless of the quarterback situation? Like the ownership doesn't care. They're like, figure it out. I don't know. I think he's gone.
The fact that they've looked so much better once they switched off Kyler.
Yeah, but they need to win. And they don't. They're 3-10. Like we think we like the Cardinals because Trey McBride has been sick and Jacoby Brissett has been startable and Michael Wilson is going insane, but they're 3-10. Like they're not winning games. So
yeah, I don't think Gannon's losing his job. I think he's staying. I feel like this season was them being like, see, I told you, we can't do anything. This offense doesn't run with Kyler.
Yeah.
So I think they get another year. They bring in Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore.
Have to trade up probably, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Someone in the offseason, they bring in a new quarterback and then they give him one more year. And if it looks bad with a new quarterback, then it's like, well, you got your shot, you're done. But
yeah, I guess, yeah.
I mean,
No,
he's obviously their best weapon currently. Hopefully Marvin Harrison makes that step up to justify his draft capital. But dude, he's been good. I just made a trade for him this past week.
Really?
It's in a league where it's a little bit of quirky scoring. It's 1 point PPR, half-point bonus for running backs, full-point bonus for tight ends.
Ooh.
And do that full-point bonus.
I mean, he must be the highest scoring player in the whole game.
I believe he's the fifth highest overall scorer. A couple quarterbacks, I think, are above him.
Yeah.
But I traded Puka and Hampton for Trey McBride, Harold Fannin, who just dropped like a 40 bomb this week for me. McBride, Fannin, and Javonte Williams. And I'm feeling great about the trade because Puka is sitting at I think he's around 220 points scored for the year. McBride's at 380.
Oh yeah, it's hard to get my head around those.
He's almost two Pukas
values.
in one tight end spot.
Yeah, it's hard to get my head around those. You and I had this conversation off camera. I'm not a huge quirky scoring fan.
Yeah,
I can't get my head around that. How
it hurt. It's hard trying having to deprogram your brain from name value and focusing purely on how many points is this person going to score for me.
But you said,
compared to the people I'm giving away.
Like you said, you like how it gives you an advantage as somebody who likes to dig into that stuff, and you feel like your advantage there is that you will look into it more and other people will be looking at name value.
Yeah. 100%. Being able to detach the name value of players and just purely build your team focused on points per game and how to maximize your points coming out of your team. I like quirky scoring rules for leagues, purely because of that, because it mixes it up. It means a different team build than a lot of my other leagues. And yeah, I feel like it can give you an advantage if you're savvy enough to know how to build a team that optimizes the scoring rules that's built around that league.
And I'll tell you this, there's no calculator in the world that will save you in a league like that.
No, keep trade cut is impossible to use in that league.
You've got your brain and nothing else.
Because that trade was you're getting fleeced, man, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm basically getting two Pukas for the price of one.
Crazy.
So
anyways, you got one pick left here. Moving
on to the guy I just acquired in that deal, Javonte Williams. That is a segue. He's as soon as we saw week one, we're like, oh, we all messed up not getting him this offseason. We knew it immediately. The very first game the Cowboys played, we're like, well, we should have bought him.
Yep.
And he's 25 years old. Is the RB7 overall, averaging 16.2 points per game. And the biggest thing for him is what's next year looking like, because he's on a 1-year contract. I imagine Dallas has to bring him back, but that's also gonna be a lot of, because they got
Jerry,
Pickens,
man.
They got to figure out
Jerry.
I think Jerry got burned from the Ezekiel Elliott contract extension, but I don't know. I feel like Javonte. If I'm Javonte, I'm like, dude, give me $7 million, give me $8 million. Keep me in a system where I'm producing, because I would be nervous to go anywhere else and it just not work out the way it is currently with Dallas. If I'm betting right now, I think he gets a contract extension with Dallas. What do you think?
Okay, I think two things can be true. I think that, yes, I completely agree with everything you said. Dallas should re-sign him. Javonte should want to return to Dallas. But the problem is Javonte doesn't have a payday in his career, right? He has his rookie deal, and then he has his 1-year deal in Dallas. This is Javonte's chance, and potentially his only chance, to get a big contract in the NFL. He's not going to sign a 1-year deal after this season. I don't think, unless it comes down to nobody wants to pay him.
He needs to get at least a 3-year deal.
He needs to get a bag,
especially since he's 25.
And so if I'm Javonte, I'm not settling for $7 million a season. I think I'm trying to get into the top 10. And I don't know if Jerry does that. This is the thing. I've been so skeptical about the Pickens thing. Yes, of course the Cowboys should bring him back. Of course Pickens should want to return to the Cowboys. This is Jerry Jones we're talking about. This is not a rational thinker. This is not a rational general manager. He surprises us every offseason with the new stuff that he pulls for attention and for clicks and for whatever. And I just think we shouldn't be so certain that all these guys are just going to come back and Jerry's just going to give them money. Jerry traded a top 3 pass rusher in the league. Like, and he might have cooked, honestly, because their defense has been good with Quinnen. But this is what I'm saying. Now he's doing these insane things and he's being proven right. Disaster. So I'm not so certain. And that scares me. Obviously, we can only value him where he is right now. And I like Javonte, and I think that he can be good in the right system. We just have to see what system he ends up in. Like, I value him similarly to the guys like Brees and Kenneth Walker and Travis Etienne, where we don't know where they're going to be. Even though John Javonte has vastly outproduced those guys this season, maybe not Etienne by a ton, but we don't know where I think that there's a 60% chance he's a Cowboy next year.
I'm looking at running back contracts right now. I feel like he gets the kind of contract that Tony Pollard got when he left the Cowboys, which is $8.4 million a year. And I feel like if I'm the Cowboys, you've been trying to figure out your running back for 2 or 3 years now. And he's 25. He's still a young running back. Honestly, doesn't have a whole lot of tread on his tires, because a lot of it he's been injured. So,
well, here's what I'll say.
If I'm the Cowboys and he wants $8 million a year, I don't think he's gonna get more than that from any teams. Although, maybe this is a preview into our off-season podcast schedule. This offseason is going to be so fascinating for running backs that don't have a contract.
Yeah.
Because of the rookie class coming in.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously Jeremiah Love at the top, and then there's a lot of Maye.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on after that.
If he's honestly timed it where if he's looking to get a bag, this is the offseason to get a bag.
Here's what I'll say, Tags. You mentioned Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard, before leaving Dallas in 2023, had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Okay? Rico Dowdle in 2024, 1,000 yards, and they let him go. Javonte Williams now is having a career year, 1,000 yards, and he has some ways to go, right? And also, that Tony Pollard contract is 2 years ago. That's the same offseason that Henry and Saquon had the moves, and Jacobs. And I feel like running back value has increased in the eyes of team building. So, Tony Pollard did not have as good of a year in 2023 as Javonte is having this season. And the cap has gone up, and running back value has gone up. So, I think maybe the equivalent of that Tony Pollard deal might make sense, but I'm more on the side that he's going to get like 11, 12 million a year. And I don't think Jerry pays that.
I think that's way too much.
It might be.
Because if that's what he's getting, what's Brees Hall going to get?
Well, Brees hasn't had the season that Javonte is having.
Yeah, he has.
Well, not this past year, I mean.
Sure.
Well, Brees has never ran for 1,000 yards, I will say.
But he's younger,
and he has the receiving.
Has the draft profile, has talent upside.
I think they could all.
I'd imagine Brees is going to be the queen of the ball here, most popular girl at the ball for off-season running backs.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I might have gone a little crazy on the 11 because even. What am I looking at?
Yeah, because like even
I don't want to look at cap hit. I want to look at contract value. I don't know, man. I just don't think Javonte settles. I mean, he might have to. Either way, I think there's a less chance than what the community thinks of where he's going to be next year. I don't think it's as guaranteed as people think it is that he's going to be in Dallas, and that scares me.
Yeah.
But maybe he's just good. Maybe he just needs that extra year to get over the injuries. He was obviously incredible before them.
And he had an incredible rookie year
Yeah, he was awesome.
before the injury.
Yeah, and also there are landing spots not Dallas that I would be excited about.
God, I can't believe Ramondre Stevenson's getting $9 million a year. I hate this.
What if the Vikings decide to go with like a Javonte instead of drafting somebody, or
they have Javonte at home with Jordan Mason.
well, Jordan Mason is not as good as Javonte.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Commanders, that could be fun. But yeah,
Commanders and Chiefs are going to be the biggest ones, I believe.
Oh yeah, I know. Brees is going to be a Chief, and
Dude,
Etienne's going to be a Chief, and Kenneth Walker.
All of them. Oh my God, the three-headed backfield.
Incredible.
That's going to be nasty.
Unless they miss the playoffs and take Jeremiah Love 13th overall.
Dude, which it's honestly looking like that's going to be happening. I think if they don't take Jeremiah Love, Brees Hall is 100% a Chief next year. Like I'm betting.
But he wasn't worth a third round pick at the deadline, which they know that was the price. It came out that they offered a fourth, and the Jets said they needed a third. So,
a third plus the contract, when now you can just get him for just a contract.
Yeah, but they need a running back now. I mean,
thirds are pretty valuable in the NFL.
Yeah.
To us, they're kind of just like, it's a third round pick. It's nothing.
But no, they are
but
valuable.
To scouts, like third round picks are very valuable.
Yeah.
Once it gets up into like the 5th and 6th, then it doesn't matter as much. Because those are like, a lot of those are guys that don't even make the practice squad for teams.
Mm-hmm.
So third plus having to give Brees the contract is kind of hefty.
Yeah, you're basically paying, if you're going to sign him anyways, you're paying the third for the rest of 2025.
Yeah.
So
when you could just not use him for this year and then just get him for the contract and save the third for a upside cornerback or something like that.
What I will say, are the Chiefs not a way better football team if Brees Hall is on them right now?
They'd be better.
They can't. Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt is the most disgusting backfield in the league.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Brees goes there so I don't have to think about Kareem Hunt and Pacheco ever again. But you know my thoughts on both of those guys.
Yes, absolutely. That is our players who impressed draft. This was a fun one. I like doing that. It's a little similar to like a Risers show, but it sort of gives us a chance to look at hopefully some players that we haven't talked about as much.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, next week, we've actually, guys, you're going to be so proud of us. We've done some planning. You know, the P word's a little bit taboo over here on the Dynasty Arsenal.
Sometimes we just have to plan with our heart, you know.
We've done some planning. And so next week, we are going to do an intro to the 2025 rookie class, specifically players that you should be watching in the college football playoff. Because it will start the weekend of week 16. So not this coming weekend, but the weekend after the CFP starts.
And there's a lot of fun names that are going to be very relevant in February, March, April, rookie draft time.
So I know, like myself, I don't watch a ton of college football, but I watch the college football playoff, especially now that there's more games. It's really exciting. I like to tune in for that. So there's going to be some interesting names to watch there. And then we do have some more shows planned ahead that we're excited for. Let us know in the comments who impressed you the most in 2025. Let us know. But
subscribe.
I think, like,
follow us on Spotify and Apple Pods.
Absolutely. We are going to try and be more consistent about getting the show out at the same time. So it's going to be like a Wednesday afternoon release normally. So look out for that. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Later.